Habit number 1, morning activation ritual. Start before you stand. Let me take you back to a morning I'll never forget. I was 92, and like most mornings, I swung my legs out of bed and stood up fast, too fast. My right leg didn't respond. My ankle buckled, and before I knew it, I was crashing toward the floor. I remember the sound of my slipper sliding across the hardwood, the sharp corner of the nightstand racing toward me. By some miracle, I caught myself against the bedpost. My heart was pounding, my knees shaking not from the near fall, but from the realization that something fundamental had changed. It wasn't the fall I feared most, it was what that fall represented. Is this it? I thought. Is this how independence slips away? That day, I made a promise to myself. If I wanted to stay independent, if I wanted to keep driving hundreds of miles at 92 and live life on my own terms, I had to start treating my body with more respect. And that starts before your feet even hit the ground. Now, every morning, before I stand, I take exactly 90 seconds to wake my body up gently and deliberately. I lie flat on my back and take 3 long, deep breaths. I imagine each breath as a soft light spreading warmth through my chest and down to my toes. I stretch my fingers wide, feeling the tendons pull and loosen. I wiggle my toes slowly, as if signaling to them, time to wake up. Old friends. Then I gently rotate my wrists and ankles, sending fresh blood into every joint. This isn't just some feel-good ritual, it's science. The National Institute on Aging reports that our bodies experience the most significant postural instability in the first 30 minutes after waking. Your blood is thicker from hours of lying still, your joints stiff from lack of movement, and your nervous system is still shifting from a resting state to alertness. Most people rush this transition. They jolt out of bed, grab their phones, and shock their bodies into the stress of the day. That's why slips, trips, and morning dizziness are so common in older adults. But when you start your day slowly, with intention, you're not just preventing falls, you're preparing your body for everything that follows. The Mayo Clinic has shown that consistent, low-intensity morning mobility reduces inflammation, improves joint health, and even regulates blood pressure. Think of it like this: you wouldn't start a classic car by slamming the gas pedal. You let the engine warm up. Your body deserves the same care. And there's more to this than just movement. This little ritual is also a mental declaration. I remind myself every morning, we're still in this together. You and me, body and mind, we're not done yet. I even created a mental visualization. I picture each toe lighting up like a tiny bulb, then each finger, until my whole body feels alive again. I call it my personal switchboard activation. I've practiced this ritual every morning for 30 years, and it's why. At 92, my balance is sharp, my steps are steady, and I feel confident behind the wheel, whether I'm driving across town or across the state. So, tomorrow morning, before you reach for your phone, before you take that first step, take a breath. Send a message to your body. Wake up, you're needed. We've got a life to live today. Habit number 2, the golden morning drink, my immune system's secret weapon. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly resilient? Not just getting by, but feeling strong, like your body could handle anything the day throws at you. For me, that feeling starts with a simple glass. But not just any glass, it's what I call my golden glass. I wasn't always this healthy. In my late 50s and early 60s, I was constantly battling small illnesses that felt bigger than they should have. Twice a year, like clockwork, I'd get a nasty sinus infection. My winters were filled with aching joints and foggy mornings. I dreaded family gatherings because I knew I'd be the one sniffling into tissues, sitting on the sidelines. Then, one afternoon, while waiting at the pharmacy to pick up yet another round of antibiotics, I saw an elderly woman had to be at least 90 standing tall, shopping for fresh produce instead of pills. I remember thinking, what does she know that I don't? That question led me to a discovery that changed my life. Now, every single morning, before my coffee, before breakfast, I make my golden glass. 1 cup of warm water, not boiling, just comfortably warm. The juice of half a fresh lemon, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, and just a pinch of black pepper. It's simple. But don't let that fool you. This drink is a powerhouse of healing. Let's talk science. Lemon is packed with vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant that boosts the production of white blood cells, your body's frontline defense against infections. But it does more than that. According to the Linus Pauling Institute, vitamin C improves collagen production, keeping your blood vessels flexible and your skin youthful. It even stimulates bile production, which supports healthy digestion and liver detoxification. Turmeric contains a miracle compound called curcumin. Over 200 peer-reviewed studies have shown curcumin reduces chronic inflammation, the silent killer behind diseases like arthritis, heart problems, and even cognitive decline. Black pepper might seem like a minor addition, but it's the key that unlocks everything. Black pepper contains piperine, which increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Without it, most of turmeric's benefits would pass right through your system unnoticed. And here's something most people don't realize. Hydration first thing in the morning isn't just about quenching thirst. Overnight, we lose nearly a pound of water through breathing and sweat. Your cells wake up dehydrated. Your brain slightly shrunk from lack of water. A study from Harvard Medical School showed that even mild dehydration reduces cognitive performance and can make you feel anxious or irritable before you've even had your first meal. This isn't just a health routine, it's a sacred part of my morning. I hold the warm glass between my palms, feeling the heat seep into my fingers. As I sip, I taste the sharp brightness of lemon, the earthy bitterness of turmeric, and that faint warmth from the pepper at the back of my throat. It feels like I'm drinking the sunrise itself, golden, warm, and full of promise. And on colder mornings I add a dash of cinnamon for a little extra comfort. Cinnamon not only warms the soul, but also helps stabilize blood sugar, another small but mighty addition to the ritual. I've practiced this every morning for over 30 years. And in that time, I haven't once had a cold, a flu, or one of those lingering seasonal illnesses that used to knock me down. My immune system doesn't roll out the red carpet for viruses anymore. It stands guard alert, awake, and ready. So, while the world around me rushes to stock up on expensive supplements and immune boosters, I sit quietly with my golden glass and think to myself, health doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes, it's as simple as what you choose to put in your body before the day even begins. Tomorrow morning, before your coffee, before the chaos of the day creeps in, pour yourself something golden. And as you sip, remind yourself, today, I'm choosing health deliberately, intentionally, one sip at a time. Habit number 3, the anti-inflammatory walk. Movement is medicine. If there's one secret to my independence that people always overlook, it's this. I walk every single day. Not for the sake of burning calories, not to break a sweat, but to heal, to cleanse my body, clear my mind, and remind myself that motion is life. Or the first walk that changed everything. I remember the day I truly understood this. It was a spring morning, the kind where the air smells like fresh rain and the earth feels soft under your feet. I hadn't slept well the night before, tossing and turning, worried about work, about life, about getting older. My knees were stiff, my back ached, and I could have easily talked myself into staying in bed. But something inside whispered, just take one step. So I laced up my old walking shoes, stepped out into the cool air, and began walking. Slowly at first, each step like pushing through thick fog. But as the minutes passed, something incredible happened. The fog lifted not just in the sky, but in my mind. My shoulders relaxed, my breathing slowed, My worries didn't vanish, but they seemed lighter, easier to carry. That was the day I realized, this isn't just a walk, this is medicine. See why walking works, the science behind the simplicity. Most people think exercise needs to be intense to matter, but that couldn't be further from the truth, especially as we age. According to the British Journal of Sports Medicine, just 20 minutes of walking a day reduces the body's levels of C-reactive protein, a key marker of chronic inflammation linked to heart disease, diabetes, and arthritis. Another study from Stanford University found that walking increases creativity and problem-solving abilities by 60% compared to sitting still. That's because walking literally gets your blood flowing, bringing oxygen to your brain and flushing out the mental cobwebs. And here's something most people don't realize. Walking activates your lymphatic system, the drainage network that removes toxins and waste from your body. Unlike your heart, which beats automatically, the lymphatic system relies entirely on movement to do its job. No movement, no detoxification. My personal walking ritual. My walks aren't about distance or speed. Some days, I circle the block. Other days, I stroll through the woods behind my home. But every walk follows this sacred rhythm. I breathe deeply, in for 4 counts, out for 6. With every breath out, I imagine tension leaving my body like a cloud of mist on a cool morning. I focus on posture. My shoulders gently rolled back, my head held high. I swing my arms softly, opening my chest, keeping my heart space open to the world. And here's the part that surprises people: I smile as I walk. Not because I'm already happy, but because smiling sends a signal to my brain that helps me become happy. The vagus nerve, the body's great regulator of calm and healing, responds to that smile. It lowers my heart rate, soothes my nervous system, and even improves digestion. A study published in Psychosomatic Medicine confirmed that smiling during physical activity amplifies the anti-stress effects of movement. No excuses, even on bad days. Some mornings, the weather is miserable. The rain falls sideways. The wind bites at my face. But I go anyway. I've learned that it's not about perfect conditions. It's about perfect commitment. If I can take just one step, I can take another. And that's how life keeps moving forward, one deliberate step at a time. I remember one particularly stormy morning years ago. I told myself I'd skip the walk, stay inside where it was warm. But the day dragged on, and I felt restless, old, even, like my joints weren't mine, like my thoughts were stuck in a loop of worry. That evening, I put on my coat and walked through the rain. And you know what? The storm outside calmed the storm inside. By the time I returned home, soaked and smiling, I felt 10 years younger. So tomorrow, before you convince yourself you're too tired, too busy, or the weather's too bad, remember me. Tie your shoes, open the door, take that first step, and tell your body, we're still in this together. Let's begin again. Habit number 4, the protein-powered breakfast, fuel for strength and memory. There's a dangerous lie many of us believed for far too long. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but it doesn't matter what you eat. For years, I started my day with a couple of slices of toast and jam, or worse, a sugary bowl of cereal. And every single time, by 10 a.m., I'd be crashing tired, irritable, and searching for snacks I didn't even want. It wasn't until one particular morning that I hit my breaking point. I was standing in the kitchen, staring blankly into the refrigerator, completely forgetting why I'd opened it. Moments earlier, I'd been on the phone with my daughter, and I couldn't remember what we'd talked about. That scared me. Was this just aging, or was I starving my brain and body without even realizing it? What the science of protein and aging? A week later, I sat across from my doctor, who looked at me and said, "You're not losing your mind, and you're not losing your youth. You're losing muscle and memory because you're starving your cells of the one thing they need most: protein." After age 60, the body's ability to absorb and synthesize protein declines dramatically. This isn't just about building muscle, it's about maintaining your entire biological framework. Your immune cells are made from amino acids, the building blocks of protein. Your enzymes, which repair tissues and support digestion, rely on protein. Your neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that control memory and mood, depend on it too. A study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who consume 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal have better muscle retention, sharper cognitive performance, and significantly lower rates of hospitalization. It's not a stretch to say that protein is life insurance for your body and mind. You're the brain and body breakfast that changed everything. From that day forward, I changed my breakfast completely. I call it my brain and body breakfast. Here's what's on my plate. 1 boiled egg, a complete protein packed with choline, which is critical for memory function. A cup of thick, creamy Greek yogurt, full of probiotics to support gut health and immunity, plus calcium for strong bones. A handful of walnuts, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, known to reduce inflammation and improve cognitive performance. A small bowl of fresh blueberries, loaded with antioxidants called anthocyanins, which have been shown to improve memory and protect the brain from oxidative stress. This simple meal delivers over 25 grams of high-quality protein, healthy fats, and a burst of antioxidants. And you know what? I haven't felt that mid-morning crash in years. My thoughts stay sharp, my energy stays steady, and when I get behind the wheel for a long drive, I feel as focused and alive as I did in my 40s. For those who need variety, I know not everyone loves the same breakfast every day. So here are some variations I enjoy. Cottage cheese with flax seeds and a drizzle of honey. High in casein protein for slow, steady release throughout the morning. A protein smoothie with almond milk, banana, spinach, and a scoop of high-quality plant-based protein. A Mediterranean-style breakfast with a hard-boiled egg, hummus, olives, and sliced cucumbers on sprouted grain toast. The key is this: never skip protein at breakfast. Your body has just gone 8 to 10 hours without fuel. That first meal sets the tone for how you'll feel and perform for the entire day. As my doctor said that day, you wouldn't expect a car to run on fumes. Why should your body? Tomorrow morning, before you reach for that bagel or sugary cereal, ask yourself this: am I fueling my future or feeding my fatigue? Choose the meal that says, I still have places to go, I still have a life to live, and I'm going to show up for it fully fueled and ready. Habit number 5, mental rehearsal, the morning mind reset. Here's a truth that took me nearly a lifetime to learn. Your mind ages before your body does. If you want to stay young, truly young, it starts up here, in the space between your ears. Let me tell you about my friend Robert. We were the same age, shared the same hobbies, even lived in the same neighborhood. But while I spent my mornings calmly planning my day, Robert started every morning by turning on the news. Politics, finances, bad headlines, wars. His mind lived in a constant storm of negativity, and over the years, it showed. He became withdrawn, his shoulders slumped, his thoughts grew cloudy, and he walked like the world was weighing him down. One day, he collapsed, no warning, no obvious illness. His heart simply couldn't handle the stress anymore. He survived, but he was never quite the same. That was the day I promised myself, I will never let worry age me before my time. My morning mind reset, before I speak to anyone, before I check my phone, before I even open the curtains. I take 3 quiet minutes and practice what I call mental tuning. I close my eyes and ask myself one simple question. How do I want to feel today? I don't think about the errands or the traffic or the bills. I picture how I want my body and mind to move through the day. I see myself behind the wheel, calm and confident, hands steady on the steering wheel, shoulders relaxed. I picture my conversations flowing smoothly, my thoughts sharp and clear. I imagine myself walking tall, my steps steady, my breath deep and even. And then here's the secret: I feel it. I try to feel the calm, the strength, the focus in my body, right there in that moment. Oh, the neuroscience behind visualization. You might think this sounds like wishful thinking, but it's not. It's hard science. Studies at Harvard University, using fMRI scans, have shown that when people vividly imagine performing an activity, the same neural pathways fire as if they were physically doing it. Over time, this practice actually rewires your nervous system to stay calm and confident when those situations really happen. Visualization isn't just for athletes preparing for competitions. It's for anyone preparing for life. In fact, a 2016 study from the University of Wisconsin-Madison found that just 5 minutes of daily mental rehearsal improved focus, lowered anxiety, and even boosted immune function in adults over 65. Your body doesn't always know the difference between something imagined vividly and something experienced. That's why worry and stress take such a physical toll. And it's also why intentional visualization can heal. Why this matters more as you age. Chronic stress raises cortisol, the stress hormone that weakens your immune system, shrinks your memory center, the hippocampus, and breaks down muscle over time. For seniors, this kind of stress doesn't just show up as worry, it appears as confusion, fatigue, forgetfulness, and an overwhelming sense of helplessness. But when you start each day by picturing strength, calm, and resilience, you're literally training your hormones to support your health rather than destroy it. I often tell people, your thoughts shape your hormones, and your hormones shape your health. An evening mind reset, and it doesn't stop in the morning. Each night before bed, I take 2 minutes to review my day, not with judgment, but with gratitude. I ask myself, what did I handle well today? Where did I show kindness, even if it was just to myself? And if there was a difficult moment, I don't dwell on it. I visualize how I might handle it better next time. That way, even my mistakes become lessons, and I go to sleep feeling lighter. So tomorrow morning, before the world has a chance to pull you in every direction, sit quietly, close your eyes, picture strength, picture clarity, picture joy, and then, when you open your eyes, carry that feeling into the day. Because a young body without a young mind is just a machine running on empty. But a calm, focused mind, that's the spark that keeps life burning bright at 60, at 90, and beyond. Here's the final closing inspiration and expanded call to action for your review. So now you know it was never luck. It was never genetics. And it certainly wasn't some secret kept hidden away for decades. It was 5 simple choices. 5 daily habits practiced not with perfection, but with consistency. The morning activation ritual that reminds my body, we're still in this together. The golden glass that fuels my immune system and washes away the stiffness of the night. The healing walk that moves my body and resets my mind. The protein-powered breakfast that gives me strength and keeps my memory sharp. And the most powerful of all, the mental rehearsal that ensures I don't just survive each day. I live it with purpose. I'm 92 years old. I still drive hundreds of miles. And every time I take the wheel, I feel the same rush of freedom I felt when I was 30. And let me tell you something you may have forgotten. You're still here. You still can. And you're already on your way. Health doesn't disappear in a single moment. It slips away quietly in the choices we skip. And it returns just as quietly through the small, humble habits we choose to build back our strength. One breath, one sip, one step at a time. If you're wondering whether it's too late to start, hear this loud and clear. You're still breathing. You're still here. And that means you're not finished yet. If something in this story stirred your heart, if even a small part of you whispered, maybe it's possible for me too, don't let that thought fade away. Take action. Start today. Hit that subscribe button and join me and thousands of others on this journey to live stronger, stay sharper, and age with dignity and freedom. And if you know someone who's forgotten how strong they really are, someone who's starting to believe it's too late, share this video with them. Remind them, you're still here. And as long as you're still here, you can begin again. Leave me a comment below and tell me, which of these habits will you start tomorrow? What's the one thing you'll do to remind your body and mind that you're still in this together? Let's turn this into a community, a place where we share not just our challenges, but our victories, big and small. Because this road, it's still wide open. And together, we're going to drive it for years to come.